Hello everyone, this is a Steven Universe Theory video on how strong is Opal, one of the very first fusion that we've seen on screen, not really counting Garnet since we didn't know that she was a fusion at the time, but yeah, Opal is one of the first fusions that we've seen on screen, and some people might be wondering, where does she rank up with the other fusions or crystal gems, and how strong is she, who can she keep up with, who can she beat, and who can beat her per se. That's what this video is for. Just like with the Smoky Quartz video, I'm going to be going over abilities and powers that Opal can use, and most likely can use, within a fight or battle or anything like that. This is pretty much like a what-if video in a slight way or so. So, I'm going to be starting off with Amethyst part for Opal. Right off the bat, you all know that, and I don't even think that I brought this up in the Smoky Quartz, how strong is. I don't think I did, but when a gem fuses with another gem, that fusion's weapons from the regular gems, the weapon is pretty much twice as big. So, you can probably see on screen right now, you see Amethyst, normal whip, and then when Opal uses the whip is like 10 to 3 times longer and bigger, so it could probably do a bit more features, the fact that it is bigger, but I don't think too much. One thing you could probably say is that it could also still be lit on fire, just like Amethyst can do, just from Earthlings and other episodes, and with the grapple and latch feature and all that stuff, and then once she latches onto anything, she could probably, set the whip on fire like usual, and then cause the whip to explode or anything like that. That's most likely what's going to happen with that ability, or with the whip. So Opal, she has the 2 whips, fire, explosions, she has it all from Amethyst. Now the 2 abilities from Amethyst I don't think Opal would really have or use too much is the shape-shifting power and spin dash, and the reason why I don't really see Opal really using shape-shifting to her advantage when it comes to a fight. I think that she pretty much already has what she needs within the fusion herself, so shape-shifting just doesn't really seem like a possibility for her. Plus, shape-shifting is pretty much Amethyst's thing, not so much Pearl's thing, and they would probably argue about it within Opal's mind, and that would just be crazy already. So shape-shifting, not so much. The spin dash, this might sound crazy, but I don't really think that Opal is really built for the spin dash move. That sounds really ridiculous and just doesn't make any sense, and you might be thinking, well, Amethyst can do the spin dash, why can't Opal? Well, if you look at Opal, she's really tall, and she's pretty much a taller version of Pearl in a way, just with long hair and all that stuff. And as again, I just don't really see Opal being able to use the spin dash too much, because honestly, she looks fast enough. From all the flips and other things that she did from Giant Woman, she looks pretty fast enough. And it doesn't look like that she needs the spin dash for any type of technique or anything like that. So, spin dash, not so much. And that's kind of it when it comes to the Amethyst part so much. Now on to the Pearl part. With Pearl, same thing with Amethyst. Opal is able to use Pearl spears and all this other stuff, and probably even use the, well, not even probably, but especially use the features when it comes to the spear. Now, let me just get this out of the way while I'm thinking of it right now. I don't really think that Opal could use the upgraded versions of the weapons too much. Well, most likely Amethyst, but I'm not too sure about Pearl, because we haven't really seen her use her upgraded trident except for the sparring match with Bismuth. And if she does use it later in the future, I'll probably put an annotation on screen or somewhere in the description saying that, yes, she can use it, just for a little update. Because right now, I don't really think that Opal uses the trident feature or the upgraded spear that Pearl has. I don't think so, at least not yet that I know of. But anyway, as again, yes, Opal's able to use the features of Pearl Spear, the explosions, the blasts, and all that stuff. She's able to use all of that. The spear's bigger, for that matter, and she's able to summon 2, just like Pearl can. So, right there, that's pretty much the Pearl feature. Oh, and one more feature I might add as well. She can walk on water, just like Pearl, so I guess that's a little plus. I don't know how that's so much of a benefit, since we haven't had too many fights that involve water except for Lapis, or specifically running or walking on water, but who knows, it might happen one day. Actually, now that I think about it, the fight with Alexandrite and Malachite. But, oh well, whatever. Yeah, that's basically it for the Pearl. There's not too many other abilities that Pearl really uses in a fight. She just kind of uses her spear and then the blast when it comes to that, and then that's just kind of about it so much. So, moving on to Opal herself and her known weapon and only weapon so far, her bow. Now, with Opal's bow, I've noticed that the arrows that she fires actually are, in a way, kind of a bigger version of the blasts or fireballs. I think that's what they're called in the RPG game, Attack of the Light Fireballs or something like that. The arrows pretty much look like and feel like the smaller version, or well, a bigger version of what Pearl fires. Because if you notice, there's a rapid fire feature on her spear, then there's the regular shots that she can fire, and then a charge shot. Opal, in a way, kind of has the same thing, but in just different variations. The rapid fire goes into the scatter arrow, as I call it, and I give these arrows and attacks different names, so try and keep up with them if you can. I'm sorry if you're a little lost. So, Opal has the scatter arrow, as I call it, in different variations that I've noticed. Fired it against Peridot's ship, where it shoots one arrow, then it shoots into tiny little arrows to, I guess, do more damage, but from what we saw, it didn't really do all that much to the ship, didn't even slow it down. So, I guarantee it would still do a lot of damage if it was actually against an opponent. Then the spiral feature, I guess, to the scatter arrow, where it went into a little spin motion or something like that, also didn't really do anything, so, I don't think they really showed it, since she's always doing variations of her arrows, but I guarantee she'd be able to shoot, like, the normal arrow that she already forms, and then that's it. Just forms the arrow, shoot, no variations, no any special tricks or anything like that. So, shooting normal arrows, that's right there. Two other arrows, one's going to be made up as I talk about it. The other one is the first arrow that we saw her shoot, is the charge arrow, just like what Pearl does, charges up the blast, fires it, and big explosion, whatever. With Opal, pretty much the same thing, just a little bit different or a little spin to it. She charges it, it fires, bright, big explosion, but I noticed actually that it's just not an explosion. It actually shoots out even tinier little arrows that go right into the target, and then that's it. The little, like, lines or sparks that you see, those are arrows, pretty much. So it's a big scatter arrow, basically. A scatter bomb, I guess, or something like that. And it works. And I guess if I noted, if you notice in the background right now, the gems, or the little bird shards, they automatically got, bubbled. So I guess that's a bit of a plus, so you don't have to waste your time bubbling it or anything like that. Kind of like Pokemon in a way. Then the last one, it kind of connects to Alexandrite. It kind of connects to that since she used it, but it is Opal's bow, so I guess it counts. But the shot that Alexandrite did to finish off Malachite, it had a garnet, pearl, and amethyst spinning it in and all that stuff. I really do have a feeling that Opal could fire off the same type of shot, but it just doesn't have garnet in it or anything like that. So it's just pearl and amethyst, does a little spinning motion, goes right through the target, pierces them, and then poof, right there. And I can probably guarantee if Opal would have that type of attack, it would still finish off or even one-shot an opponent like Malachite. So, yeah, that's pretty much about it. In terms of strength of how strong is Opal, able to use amethyst whips and its features, pearl spears and its features, the fire whips and the shooting spears, and the different type of arrows, being able to do all these different types of variations of each arrow and so on and so forth. That's pretty much the strength of Opal. Well, not really the strength of Opal, but what you can decide of Opal. In my opinion of how strong is Opal, I want to say that she's probably a tie with Garnet, if not really, really close and below her. So for, like, example, Garnet's like a 7 out of 10 of strength, and then Opal is also like a 7 or 7.1 or even a 6.8 or 6.9. That's pretty much how I see of it. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Have any questions, comments, or concerns? I'll try to answer them the best I can. Want to draw any fan art for the channel, be greatly appreciated. Until then, bye.